Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game called Cozy Stickerville, which is definitely one of the best, the game's names that tells you exactly what's in the game. It is cozy, there are stickers, and you're building a town. That is what the game is. I mean, that's almost the review of it itself. Now, in this game, which is a disposable game of sorts, because you're going to play through 20 games of this that you can play, you are following the birth of a town. You are someone who has a story with your father. Your father has kicked you out of the house and says, go start your own area, and you're doing that. This is a game that you're progressing through. So with that in mind, there's lots of different choices and things that you can do. In this review, there's the most minute of spoilers, but I don't really think this is necessarily a spoiler game, and I'll explain why at the end. I'm going to show you a little bit of the game so you can see how it plays, and then I'll tell you what I think. In this game, you have a board, and this is 2/3 of the board. I have 1/3 covered so you can't see, but there'll be stickers that will show up on the board. You can, at the beginning of the game, you can build on one side of the river. The game comes with a sticker book, which has a bunch of stickers that you can place on the board. You're going to start with some on the board, and then there's a whole bunch of other stickers and things that you can use, including clear stickers, which will go on top of other stickers on the board. And what you'll do to play this game is you're going to start through a scenario, and there are 10 scenarios in this game, or 10 years. There will be a setup year, and this explains to you what to do at the beginning of the game. It will tell you to put some stickers on the board. It will tell you that some stickers provide you resources over the course of this game. There are 4 resources. There are wood resources, there's food, there's money, and there is ore. Now, one thing to be noted here is that it doesn't matter where on the board you put the stickers usually. There's sometimes places where things need to go, but it doesn't really matter if this farm here is next to a restaurant. You can put stuff kind of wherever you want. But the way that each year the game works is you're going to take a bunch of year cards and you're going to shuffle these cards. And on your turn, you're going to draw one of these cards, which will give you a choice. You find a bird's nest in the forest. You haven't had an omelet in ages. Take the eggs, leave them, or sell them. And then you'll go to the bottom of the card and get some sort of effect for that. Sometimes a card will just come out into play. For example, this card comes out. These 2 people are trying to move to your town. This card will then stay next to the board. Now, after you do the card, then players get to take one action. Often an action is interacting with a card. Here I can pay 3 wood if we have it to build a house, and it will bring one of these 2 people to town. If you pick one to come to town, they will often come with a card. It will tell you what sticker to put on the board, and then they might give you another action. But they also might have some interactions on the sticker itself. When that happens, you'll be flipping through this book where you will run into things, and it will tell you to read the first story bullet. It doesn't have a sticker on it because you can interact with things on the board multiple times, and you'll have different events. All sorts of crazy things will happen. And you're going to do this until you go through this whole deck of 12 cards that are number 1. Then the year's over. Everything sticks around. All the cards stick around. You go to year 2. And you'll keep doing that till you get to the end of year 10. Now, resources will stick around. New resources will come out. Cards that you haven't done, let's say this card here, you haven't built this wood that these people can come to town. Well, this card will still be out there. You could wait till year 9 to bring one of these people in if you want to. And you can also pack up the game from year to year. The game comes with a box. So this is our current game. You can hear all the stuff in there. You can also mark the years if you want to on it. But our current game is in here, all the resources and cards that we'll play. And once you're done, you will cancel out some of the choices in the game, and you can play through again on the other side of the board. And that's what you're seeing here. This is our second playthrough, going through the other side of the board. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here with this. First of all, this is the first game I played in a long time where the word cozy, which is in the name of the game and describing of the game, actually makes sense. This is barely a game. in a sense of you are just kind of experienced. It's like a very multifaceted choose your own adventure. In the very first year, you'll put these initial stickers on the board. Some of them will have numbers on them. Those are events that you can go to. You'll have a card or two. That's like 5 different choices. Some of the choices that you get, you'll have for the rest of the game, like going out and chopping down wood or going fishing for food. Those are going to stick around for a long time. But by the time you get to game 8 or 9, the choices that you have out there are immense. You're never going to do everything. When you go to a house and you deal with that person, you can keep going to a house. You can keep dealing with that person until you finish their storyline. But by doing so, you're skipping a lot of other stuff. And sometimes those choice cards that come out will give you something that you need to do by the end of the year, or you might get a negative sticker. On the side of the board, there are these achievement stickers. There's a few in the video that I showed, but there are many, many, many achievement stickers that are in bronze, silver, and gold. These kind of count towards your points at the end of the game of sorts. I mean, it's more like, do you have your father's approval or not, or whatever it might be. I'm not going to spoil too much of what's going on. But these achievements you get by reaching different goals, but there can also be negative achievements, and these will kind of bother you. But nothing in this game is so difficult, and you're like, oh, how am I going to feed my people? No, there's none of that. There's a little bit, and oh, this happened, and there's sometimes negative stuff will happen to you, and sometimes it's due to your choices. You have to make choices, and the choices aren't always obvious. And there's also a bit of fun humor in the game. There's some very amusing things some choices where you meet somebody and you can say this or you can say something very funny. And sometimes my kids picked the funnier thing because they were just curious to see where that would lead. The story is pretty good. It is the relationship of you and your parents and then other family members or the people in your town. And a kind of an emerging story comes out. And it's so interesting that we are doing it again. Once you play through the first 10 games, there's some stickers I put on cards because if you invite one family to come live in your town, that sticker's already on that board, but the other choice will be available for you on the other board, and maybe you've invited neither one, then both choices are available in game 2. And so we're going through this currently. As of me recording this video, we played through all 10 on one side, and we played through 3 on the other side, and we're making very different choices, and it's a very different town, and the kids are having just as much fun going through that. There is no victory condition here. Like I said, it's not really a game, but we are loving it. We are loving the plethora of choices because everything is fun. Everything is this, and sometimes like an example, do you chop this tree down for some wood? But now the tree is chopped down. And now it's gone. It's not going to provide you with a wood every turn. Is that worth it? There's things that are a little Animal Crossing-esque as you try to catch different fish and reach your goals. There's also, if you are an escape room aficionado, there's a little bit of that in the game. Every once in a while, there's puzzles that come across. And you know what? You don't have to solve them. You could completely ignore them. Nothing in this game is required. And I think that's a really cool facet of it. You go to some lumberjacks, you're like, I don't like the idea of cutting down trees and doing stuff. Well, first of all, there's a little bit of subversion of expectations there. But also, you can be like, I'm never talking to those guys again. And that is perfectly fine. Choices that you make in an earlier game might have responses in a later one. I think the whole thing is fun. I can see some people going, hey, you're only getting 20 games out of this. I don't want to buy a disposable game. And I get that. And the games are also fairly quick. I would say games... a year lasts around 30 to 45 minutes. We've played through all 10. We played through in 3 sessions. We did 3 years, then we did 4 years, then we did 3 years. And then, as of me recording this, then we did 3 more years. So we've played this game 4 different times, but each time several years in a row. And everybody is liking it. My jaded teenage daughter, my excited young son, my wife thought it was a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the story as we go through because you're never quite sure the twists and turns. But at the same time, it isn't this dark foreboding. It's a very cheerful. It is definitely the very same kind of stuff you would find in Animal Crossing, things like that. And so this is a blast. I'm having a great experience here that we will always remember. And I know it's a blast because when we were done, the kids said, again, we're doing the other 10 games on the other side. And that's a very positive thing for me. Yeah, it's that one-time use, but we are definitely getting the value of this game in all the different sessions. We have 2 more sessions probably this. We'll do another group of 3 or 4 games and then finish it off with the other group of 3 and 4. And we'll still talk about, we're still laughing about some of the stuff that happened in the first one. I think it's a lot of fun. This is an 8.5 for me. It's one of those games that said in the name what the expectations were. It met those expectations. It offers you fun choices that a lot of times are just cosmetic. You might say, hey, you have a farm now, put some farm animals. And you look at all the stickers like, I'm going to add a pig. I'm going to add a cow. There's all kinds of stuff like that. That's just, people like cosmetic stuff. That's why they charge extra for it in the little games online. Do you want to wear a different outfit? Well, that sort of thing is in here, and I find that to be just an enjoyable thing. So check out Cozy Stickerville. This is from Unexpected Games, who does unexpected things. I think it's the final game here from Corey Kineska. And what an interesting game to go out on. He's done some big, heavy games with smashing and shooting. This one's just calm and peaceful, and I'm here for it. I'm Tom Vasel. Thanks so much for watching. I do want to do a quick shout out to some of our GameFound backers. Thank you to Michelle and Bill Boatman, to Clara and Aritz from the Thin family, and all the board gaming Kiwis in New Zealand. Thank you all for supporting us, and thank you all for watching the Dice Tower. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.